my waifu. I
Well,
want you to
okay.
picture her. Hold on, picture her in a different outfit, all right, and not just like full default paladin bottom
Hey,
tech.
We're gonna
Okay?
play dress up with
I
our
really like
waifus.
that paladin set.
Think about this kind of outfit. Give her that tough, hot like
God,
Onesan vibe.
no, come on, dude. I mean, okay, let's put aside.
Obviously, those tits would need to be a bit smaller.
Yeah, well, all right. I'm trying to picture the outfit and not like the rest of the character because I don't know about this. No, it's the hair. It's the hair that's pretty bothersome here. I don't like your choice in hairstyle.
I'm bundling.
Because my first thought was a bit more standard, but then I don't know. I didn't want to go standard, and then I saw this, and it, like with the coloration, I feel like it works.
Like, yeah,
really well.
I really appreciate the color, especially with the eyes and the red labels. It basically mirrors how I went green with green. Obviously, you chose the best scale pattern, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I need to see the tail though, because if you don't have the right tail, then you're garbage.
I gave her.
Did you give it the like longest spiky one?
No, I think it was option 2 where it's the thicker. Oh, shut the fuck up.
All right. Hi everybody. Welcome to a D&D stream.
Objectively better waifu on my end. All right, let the viewers know.
All right. You know what? Are you free tomorrow?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, Psychic and I are gonna be doing Smash Bros.
We're streaming Smash Bros.
All right.
We're streaming ourselves smashing.
I was about to say we could have a waifu competition on 14. And then
no, we couldn't because you're an old hat at this fucking game. You're like an old person. I'm on starting week 4.
Hey, whatever. I'm just on like year 6. All right, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, all right. My name is Wim. I gotta get a pizza out of the oven. I'll be back.
Okay. Bye.
I'm Psychic.
Okay.
I have to wait my turn to use the oven.
Go ahead, Weeb.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
why not?
That's what I thought.
Also, what the heck is wrong?
I will be playing a spooky warlock who is way too old. She looks like a prune, but green.
What is happening here? Oh, is it my fault? Hold on. There's a bit of an error, a display error, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, is it that black line?
Yeah, it is. What? How did this happen? Hold on.
Wham is uncomfortably staring into my soul, and I don't like it.
Oh, that's how he does. Capture. What? Can I not adjust the window size here? What heck? This is a big issue. I don't like this. Also nodding. Hello, everybody. God, what the heck is going on? Why is this huge black line here? It wasn't here before.
I don't know why my webcam does this to me, but I'm not moving my head, but my head is moving.
What?
You're just bipping and a bopping and a hipping and a hopping.
Yeah,
and you
man.
do know what the jazz is all about.
You see, jazz is like basic.
Jello pudding. See?
Okay. What the heck? Maybe it's because I'm zoomed in too much. Nope, that doesn't change anything. Why? Nande? Why do I have this huge mark?
Even mean? Tell me.
No.
Are we live?
Yes, of course we are.
Oh.
That's what makes this awful and super cursed. Whatever.
What should I say for content?
For
I'm trying to
content.
help you with content.
No, it's okay. I already.
I
have
I'm
just-
gonna give you content.
I just.
I just help by being cripplingly stupid.
But that's not good enough.
Okay. Okay. This is about as good as we're gonna get. All right. Let me zoom myself back in.
Did you guys watch the Dota anime? I love that. I love how stupid that phrase is. The Dota anime.
Okay. So, does anybody remember where we last left off?
We were in
Yeah.
camp.
Nice.
My light.
Well, I have an egg.
Hmm.
That's all that happened.
Yeah.
I also have a friend named Chad Thundersnake, whose contributions cannot be diminished.
Me and Ferris and her brother joined up with the party. Yep.
Egg, Ferris, Felix, yeah. And Whim's like dead or whatever. So,
Well, for now.
we
Kai is
will-
also here.
Rocks have
Kai
fallen.
is a merchant who is a changeling.
Yeah.
He says he's on the straight and narrow, but there's nothing
Yeah,
straight or
change-
narrow about him.
Don't
For
worry
what?
about it.
He's fat.
What?
That's it.
Okay.
He's fat.
He's fat.
I can't believe it. You got him. All right, sick. So you guys have arrived. Oof. Bring over here and then right here. We'll wait for assets to load. So you guys have arrived in the.
What about the breast sets?
So anyway, you're here in Scornaville. After a
How
bit.
fun.
Yeah. So Scornaville is kind of a bigger trade city, like compared to both Greenest and Burdusk. Most of the things that you guys were looking for is largely to be found here. Also, I'm playing the wrong BGM. Here we are. So, if you want to shop, if you want to like find any information or figure out, more things about what's going on, here is a much better place to do it. It's not nearly as big as Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep or any other place like that, but it is quite sizable. If you were to imagine the previous places you've been as being like the tutorial area, this is like the level 1 area, right? The starting village, as it were.
Oh, poggers.
Obviously,
Like Greenest wasn't the starting village?
yeah.
I just got back. What were we talking about?
So you guys have
Right.
arrived.
We finished the
Mama.
tutorial,
Yeah.
which was the hardest part of the game for some reason.
For reasons that we may never know. But you have arrived in Scornaville. Basically, all of like your shopping needs that you couldn't really get done in Greenest or Burdusk can be done here. This is more of a proper city. If you imagine like the standard fantasy town where there's like a central castle keep and then like a surrounding set of villages and farmland, this is that. There are a lot of shops and taverns and what have you.
I see.
There's not a map.
Question.
Yeah, what's up?
Huh?
There's
not a
no
what?
map for the place.
Okay. So I have a pressing concern.
Yeah, what's up?
Double check something real quick.
No.
Would there be anybody here at a church, perhaps, who knows the level 5 Greater Restoration spell?
Let me open this up. There is, in fact.
Okay. And then also remove curse. I would assume that if they can do Greater Restoration, they could probably also do
Oh, Greater Restoration is a no-go. But Lesser Restoration is fine, as is Remove Curse.
So, if you mentioned that the mask, it has to be unattuned with Remove Curse, and then to actually remove the cursed status of it, it needs Greater Restoration.
Right.
Would basically nothing happen if Lesser Restoration is cast on it, or would it be like a partial removal of the curse?
Lesser Restoration will not do it.
Will not do anything.
It will not do anything.
Okay, unfortunate. Is it just because we're not at like a main city that they don't have greater restoration, or is greater restoration like an out there kind of thing?
Well, 5th level spells are basically the upper level of what NPCs are typically capable of. I mean, like, if you think about the old wizard kind of guy, even the most legendary of them can't really get past 6th level. So, like, it's pretty hard to find stuff like that.
If I subbed, would there happen to be something like that in Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate is more of a mercenary city. You can find stuff like that, but it's more up to chance. Waterdeep being basically the capital of the Sword Coast, you are far more likely to find it, though whether or not such a service is available to you is dubious.
All right, we'll put that in the back burner for now.
Yeah, a lot of those spells do cost money to cast.
How much money are we talking here?
Well,
I can do about 24 gold.
Let me open up my DMG and I can tell you a little more specifically. So it goes here and here and
5e tools cleric. Oh, I got to the point where I just type in 5e and it like automatically takes me to 5e tools cleric.
Dungeon Master's Guide.
What 5th level at 9th? So I've got a while.
Oh, whoops. So that would be a...
Also, did you guys see Kagerou's message?
Oh, Psychic, say something?
Yeah.
Does anybody else feel like he's super quiet? Also, I think I might
I
have...
might be talking quietly.
Okay.
You know, D&D notes, Dragon Queen.
Let me know if that helps anything. Also, Mr. Wim, the cheapest you'll be looking at something like that is about 5,000 gold for the service alone.
Nice. Okay, cool. Let's
No, that other guy did offer to take it off for you.
Huh?
The Lenathan.
But he'd like demand your fucking kidney or something.
No.
Yeah, there was gonna be
I mean, if you're waiting to
consequences.
wait 5 million years, as soon as we hit 9th level, I can just remove it for you for free.
I mean, we're already like 4th level, right?
Yep.
It's only 5 more levels.
I mean, hey, you got that super poggers extra action for 5 more levels.
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like the combat benefits that I've been granted are well worth the issues.
Well, here's where
Thus
those
far,
issues
thus
start
far.
to be a little bit more obvious. While news of the dragon cult has not fully spread everywhere, the sort of unnatural aura that you give off make people very, very unwilling to talk to you.
Nice. Well, you know what? This now puts me in the situation where I cannot be relied upon to make all the decisions and do all the talking.
And Wim wins anyways.
Yeah. I always get what I want.
All right. So,
one way or another.
Like I said, if you guys wanted to do some shopping, that is a-okay. Both Scratch and Kai mentioned that they have treasure from the dragon cultists that they wish to, do some bartering with. So they fuck off.
Oh, cool.
As far as your like quote unquote mission goes, Leosin said that if you were to go to Elturel, you'll find a cleric by the name of Onthar Froom, who might be willing to help you. And then of course you have Baldur's Gate. Help in general.
Oh, in general.
Regarding the cult's movements.
I'd like to sell some potions.
You would like to sell some potions.
I'd like to sell 2 big potions.
After some consideration, I have decided that your potions from your passive ability expire after a long rest. Basically, every time you make a new one, it replaces a previous potion.
Yeah.
So that way you don't decide to retire the party and just make a living off of not doing anything.
Listen, I got shit to do with this money, okay?
Well, be that
It's
as
not
it
about
may,
it's not about making a living
I
here.
can't just
It's
feed
about
you 50
financing.
gold every time you guys take a nap.
I'm using it, okay?
All right.
If you should have thought of that before giving me so much money.
Well, I have decided after giving you so much money.
Well, here, let's make a compromise. They're homebrewed potions, so they're not the full greater potion. They're the lesser. They sell at the lesser value, even though they give you a lot of health.
The problem with that is that anyone who like knows about potions would understand that they are like better than the average potion.
Well, okay, hold on. I don't know much about potions, so where can I find information about potions?
It would be in the DMG and
There we
sometimes
are.
the player's handbook.
It would be in your local
I'm looking in the
library.
player's handbook, and potion of healing. Wow, that is really expensive. Why is that so expensive?
Well, because magical healing is very, very good. It automatically closes wounds and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty poggers.
But these are shit potions, though.
Right.
Yes,
That
but
doesn't
they'd
really
allow you
matter.
to not die.
Shit potions or shit posting?
Also, I
Potions.
meant to roleplay with Wim back at the camp before we headed off. I thought we were.
Oh,
I
actually,
thought
my
we were
potions
gonna
are
do that.
like normal potions, aren't they?
They are. In some cases, depending on how well you roll, they're actually better. Based on law of averages.
Okay, well, in that case, then that means that I can have 1 good potion and then 1 half good potion, right?
Well, I think the way that we have it is fine. It's just after a long rest, whatever potions
Oh,
you
no.
haven't used expire.
I already said that I could only hold 2 at a time.
Oh, I see.
And I have to choose between the potion and the poison.
Right. I do remember that. But the whole
The only problem is I don't know how these potions of disease are like never going to be useful.
Well, not always, but they can be.
Okay, you know what? In the interests of not breaking your economy by flooding it with potions, I'll hold 1 potion of disease and 1 potion of healing at a time.
Well, again, I think what you have is fine. What I'm basically telling you is that you can't sell them. The idea being that you've used your old lady homebrew remedies to make these potions, which is what makes them stronger than usual.
I see, but I don't have the preservatives that Big
Right.
Potion uses to
Right.
make their potions better. I'm sorry that I'm not a corporation.
There you go.
I'm sorry that I can't afford fancy preservatives to
There
keep
you
my
go.
potions long lasting.
No, I could
And
maybe
I'm sorry
develop
that you don't
something.
support local businesses.
All right.
I'm
so,
keeping this 150 gold though. You're
very
not
well.
getting it
No,
back.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Well,
I'll
I mean,
just
you
have to
could
make a
buy the
bridge troll
preservatives to
that,
make more, and then I mean that's capitalism for you.
All right.
Let me see it because there's some interesting stuff in this adventuring gear page.
While he is going out shopping, if you guys did want to do that RP session, feel free to do so.
Oh, epic! Hey, Wim.
What's up?
Can I talk to you for a second?
No.
Preferably where no one would hear us.
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of FF lately, and I get betrayed every time I turn around. I don't know how I feel like going to into a secluded place. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, sure.
All right. So I head off somewhere secluded, I guess.
All right. Since
So
this is technically taking place the night before, I mean, it's not too hard to find something, though you can never shake the feeling that there are some prying eyes and or ears somewhere around you.
Whatever.
I'm gonna once we get to where we're going, I'm gonna roll perception to see if we're being listened in on.
Okay.
Perception.
What?
That is correct, Mr. Psychic.
All right, there's my perception roll.
Let me open up a character sheet or two.
I guess I'll roll perception.
I got news for you. If I don't pick anything up, you're not gonna pick anything up.
Totally. Well, there's a chance that he rolls higher than you.
Possibly.
Okay. Actually, you guys got pretty similar. Okay, so that's 1. That's 2. Oh my god. And then 3. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so in order, as soon as Weave starts walking away, Ferris decides to just randomly get up and start walking in a similar direction. Also, Gold Piece is somewhere in the trees, though you can't really pinpoint where.
Okay. Weeb?
Well, that's not like it's very important or critical information or anything. So I don't really care. To them, I'll probably sound like Tinfoil Hat Man again. Doesn't really matter. Well, this guy's pretty crazy. Whatever. Anyway, I turn to Wim. And I ask him, or well, I rather tell him, well, hey, I had an idea that may help us out. I may have a way for us to speak to one another without anyone else being able to understand what we're saying.
All right, you talking another language like Sylvan?
Actually, well, I know that you very much like knowledge. And well, I can almost guarantee you this is probably almost as rare as you can get, at least in this world. I'm willing to teach you my native language.
Does it have gendered nouns like Spanish? If so, I'm out. I can't stand that stuff.
The language is called English. And I guarantee you no one else but me here knows it.
Well, I don't think we can actually do that.
You can.
You say can?
You can.
Yes.
But learning a language requires
a language is equivalent to a skill and a tool. It takes the same amount of time. So it'd be 140 days.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't just teach me it right now.
I could start now. But
you couldn't teach me it any reasonable amount of time.
You were willing to learn it.
Would spending time learning this language impact me if I'm also trying to learn other things potentially in the future at the same time?
It depends on what it is, because it's all based on the idea is that you have to spend 8 hours per day. Now, a day in D&D is divided into 3 sets of 8 hours. So if you spend one set of 8 hours learning the language and then the other set of 8 hours trying to do something else, that's theoretically possible. Your day is incredibly busy, and if you guys have to go do literally anything, well, something gets interrupted. But it's not like you lose all progress. You would just have to keep track of how many days you've done X thing.
Right. Yeah, I think that my response would probably be I feel like there's probably not much of a need for that. and then I'll kind of raise my voice a little bit and sort of direct it towards like the trees and Ferris, and say, especially since I'm sure our friends wouldn't be eavesdropping in on private conversations.
Ferris conveniently turns around and walks away, like there's no way you could have known she was there. No response from the trees.
Yeah. Yo, let me get the Lorax though. He speaks for the trees. Oh my god.
Well, there's another thing I wanted to test, but it requires a spell of which I can't cast.
Okay.
See, I know that there's spells that enables you to understand other languages, but I don't know whether or not it works with my native language because it's not from this world. If you understand.
I mean, a language is a language.
A language is a language, but...
Words are words. A table is a table.
Is math.
Math is math. I see no reason to think that it wouldn't work.
Well, I didn't really want to leave it to chance, so I wanted to test it out. And so that's why I asked you out here.
What's the name of the spell?
Let me...
Does we
Now I have to pull up. Now I have to pull it up. It was like comprehend languages, wasn't it?
That is exactly the one.
No, yes, it's comprehend languages.
It's a first level spell. By the way, Mr. Psychic, was there something else that you wanted to do other than what you already messaged me?
Well, honestly, it takes me forever to do these things. I'm just attuning with my egg and summoning my pseudo-dragon familiar.
Right, you're attuning to the egg. I need you to make a number of saves.
Oh.
I'm so happy you reminded me. I need you... Your color was black, right? The color of egg you had?
Black.
Okay, so I need a con save. Okie dokie. Now I need a wisdom save. And 2 arcana checks.
She's hatching.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so first of all, you feel sickly, deathly sickly, more so than usual. I mean, have you ever like had one of those sodas like Coke or something, and it like burns the back of your throat?
Yes, I threw up this morning, but then it didn't make it out.
Right, that kind of like acidic vomit sort of sits pretty much everywhere. You feel it in your gut, your throat, even your eyes sometimes. You are functionally poisoned, like you have the poisoned condition. For...
Listen, dragons are not nice people.
Oh no.
Well, they're not people, they're dragons.
For the next 3 days, you
That's
are of the
fine.
poisoned condition.
I thought black dragons were acid, not poison.
They
Oh
are
man, if
acid.
only
But,
we had someone in the
I mean,
party.
would you
who
rather
could
me take from
counter
your hit
poison.
dice? I mean, I can do that. And reduce your.
If it's
your
not
HP.
poison, it's not poison. Poison is poison.
Okay, Chief. Well, either way, you felt a grasp at your mind, but it seems as though your patron has protected you from this grasp. And also, the egg is making good progress, though you feel like there needs to be something more. And your best guess is that magic needs to be cast in its proximity. What specific kind of magic, you're not really too sure. But it's
Let's see,
definitely
do I
magic
have
of
any
the
acid-related
arcane
magic?
Oh man, if only there was someone in the party that knew how to remove poison, and then another person that does acid shit.
Well, I don't know that that counts as a spell, does it?
Well, I mean, we're literally just about to head. Well, I get we're back at camp, and we're just
Well, so yeah, your roleplay is happening a day prior.
a day prior.
I see. Well, okay. I do have my Find Familiar. I have been casting my Find Familiar spell next to the egg.
Yep.
So that's one thing. So clearly that's not enough, but perhaps the pseudo dragon has something it can do.
I can bite things.
Nice. That is exactly what I need.
Yes, bite the fingies of my enemies.
All right,
Specifically, their fingies.
From that. Did anybody else screw with their eggs?
Not really.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
I just kind of sit around my egg and go, "Yep, it's mine."
All right. You will need a little bit longer to attune to this egg. It does functionally take up an attunement slot. But you otherwise have it on you. What specifically it does for you is to be seen. Was there
I see.
aught else? I will assume not. Do any of you have anything to do in the town? I know that you're still technically RPing, but just so I'm aware.
Nothing in particular, no.
Mr. Women?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't have any money, and people don't want to talk to me.
Well, that is true, but there are things that you could theoretically do.
I get it back to that, back to where I got Ferris and Felix, but I don't think I don't want him to be mean. I don't want him to be mean to me.
Actually, Wim, did you want somebody to cast the remove curse?
Remove curse? Well, no, because then I lose the mask. Well, rather, I'm gonna have to reattune it anyways if I want to use it.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Also, real quick, how much would they charge for remove curse?
Remove curse, depending on who you got it for, would be anywhere from about 200 to 2,000.
Yeah. So friendly reminder, I got about $25 on me. So
right.
I get it next.
That's what I was saying. Like I got no money. Why did it gotta cost money?
Why is it gotta cost money? Well, as it were, Kai and Scratch would return with about 5,000 gold.
Owie.
And that's for you guys.
Wait.
Okay. So make sure that you add that money to your inventory.
Wait. It's not 5,000 gold each.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I'm just sitting there with that like YouTube buffering icon.
Yeah. I mean the basic response is don't worry about it. Kai will let you know that they met up with some other old contacts and traded information for money.
5,000 and 15.
All right, I might actually. How long does it takes? What, 1 hour to reattune to the mask?
Just about. It's like a short rest worth of time.
I might actually go find somebody to remove curse now that I have money, because I can just reattune it whenever.
Okay. Do you take anybody in particular with you?
I'm gonna bring. I think I'm gonna bring Annabelle, because I'm gonna need somebody to kind of negotiate with me or for me.
All right.
For pricing reasons and also just it'll do it for me. Period.
Annabelle notably wears all of her armor minus the gun, and her sash has been kind of taken off. She just looks like a pretty general knight. And kind of explains that her somewhat noble birth might make her recognizable, which could be bad in more civilized areas. But she does let you know there is a church in town, and will bring you to it unless you'd like to search for your own cleric, like among the market stalls.
When it comes to clerics, good lord, cleric. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
I won't let you win.
No.
Clerics. When it comes to clerics, are there any differences between like denominations or anything that I could take that I should take note of that could potentially
You mean like the
be of use?
In a place like this, they're pretty open. There's one pretty dominant church, but dominant is like they are the most common denomination here, but they technically accept any non-evil. You find that many of them are dressed in long white robes that kind of fit to their bodies a little bit. Their paladins similarly wear a lot of kind of white and silver armor. And they appear to have a holy symbol that you recognize.
Will I need to roll history, or do I actually just recognize it?
You can roll either history or an intelligence check. You can't quite place your like, finger on it. You know you've seen it. It's like it's kind of like having seen an image that's been like lightly photoshopped, and you know the original, but you just can't Google it fast enough.
I ask Annabelle if she recognizes it.
Oh, now I gotta roll for her. God damn it.
I can roll. I can. Well, I'm not with you. Never mind.
No, you're not with me.
She doesn't fucking know.
Damn, the rocks fall.
With her -2 to intelligence.
Wait.
Don't worry about it. So,
oh, I only have.
Wait,
right,
my gun waifu can't be this stupid? What?
You do definitely see priestly folk. And they seem nice enough, but, you know, you just can't figure out, you know, what kind of church it is.
Right. I think I'll approach the nearest stall and actually, hold on. Before I do that, I want to get my I think that because I'm gonna have disadvantage if I probably so much as open my mouth or for whatever, just being there. I'm gonna ask Annabelle to, in my stead, sort of introduce me and say, you know, my companion has like, you know, he's got a cursed artifact on him. We'd appreciate it if you know you'd allow us to barter for your services to remove curse, to help him deattune it.
Okay. So she will approach, and basically, you know, she leans in close, because obviously as soon as you walk anywhere, everybody just kind of turns to look at you. And she seems to whisper a few things, and you see the priestess kind of nod, and then she says something in a language that you don't understand to a nearby paladin, who kind of looks at you and says, the purification ritual can happen in 2 ways. Either one, you can pay the priestess to cast a ritual for you, or I can do it myself. And he kind of makes a gesture to his holy warhammer.
So I take it he's gonna hit me with some kind of holy attack.
That's a pretty good assumption.
I ask him, you know, what, you know, is there any harm that could come to me from your hammer?
Yeah, but that's for the divine to decide.
Could you
figure that his goal is to knock you out with holy energy and then remove it for you.
So is he just like an asshole and he just wants to fucking smack me?
Well, you're like
It appears
radiating some
so.
pretty evil energy. I mean,
I don't think it should take this long to decide. It's either get knocked out or don't.
well,
I tell him, hold that thought, and I look at the priestess and I ask, yeah, how much would you charge?
she looks at you and then kind of like winces, right? You know, you've seen Konosuba, right? Whenever like Aqua kind of gives that face. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Like you are just so visibly disgusting. She appears to have cast a spell. And
I'm gonna roll Arcana.
Okay. So she cast Detect Poison and Disease, and then followed that up with a Detect Magic spell. Just to you figure she's like trying to figure out the diagnosis.
Yeah.
And after kind of squirming a bit, she looks to the paladin and once more asks him something in a different language. To which he seems to almost sniff you a little bit, and then he like doubles back. And then he responds to her in kind. They have a bit of a conversation before the priestess looks at you and says, to undo all the knots within you might be a little close to the 3,000 mark.
I mean, I literally get remove curse at the next level.
Mm.
It's okay. It's okay, Weave.
No, it's not okay.
No, I think because I've been thinking about that, like, because like I know that he's like Greater Restoration is a while away, but remove curse would be a much quicker thing. I sort of shake my head and say, unfortunately, my finances are a bit tight right now. Perhaps another time.
Oh, hold on there. And the paladin sort of steps up to you.
Yeah.
And he's like, but there's a discount, you see? It's real easy. You get the feeling that, he'll probably cut the price in half if he can cut you in half.
I'm gonna kind of look at him and be like, look, I understand, how this sort of cursed object makes me appear, but I would really prefer not to get smacked around by somebody. We're on this. I'm not saying we're on the same side. It's like, I'm really not your enemy.
Pretty much as soon as you say that, he kind of scoffs and says, "Coward."
Yeah. I'll sort of chuckle and say, consider it a sign of respect. I can tell that you're quite strong.
All right.
Oh god. All right. Yes. I guess I'll just hold off then. It's
Okay.
a lot of money.
Weeb, are you doing anything in this time?
I guess I'll take a look around. I turn to Ferris and I'm like, you're familiar with this place?
She nods and says, well, yeah, our church is here.
Well, yes, I do remember that. Well, I guess we could go browse the markets.
She nods and agrees to follow you. What specifically are you looking for?
Potions.
Also, Wim, high or low?
Hi.
How come you're looking for potions when I have so many potions?
All right, Mr. Weeb. Yeah, you go browsing. There's a few magic markets. Most of them sell potions of varying kinds. Obviously, you know that your own church sells potions. Just because it's,
You could probably get free potions.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, real quick, can I roll a perception check to sort of look around and see if anybody's like eyeing me like they're gonna try something?
Like
they're gonna jump me or anything?
People are looking like they're gonna try something. You figure if you didn't have a guard, you probably would take a lot longer to get back home. Like people will part, Moses parting the seas for you, but they give you just this look of disgust. But anyways, Weeb, where would
Yes.
you go for potions?
Well, I might as well head back to my own place. Well, I
Alright.
say my own place, but
Yeah, so you hit up a stall with a priestess and a paladin standing there, and they seem to be discussing something in Celestial. Notably about a peculiar tall man with a artifact most bizarre.
oh,
But
I'm becoming famous. For all the wrong reasons.
as soon as you arrive, the priestess stands up, and then both of them in unison give a bow and say, "Oh, young master, what brings you back to this part of the city?"
well, I'm here for some potions.
Of course. What do you need?
Well, preferably potions of healing. What other potions do you have?
They kind of look at each other, like, what else would they possibly give you? But otherwise decide not to say anything.
Poison.
And they say,
Poison.
well, we have potions of healing, potions of greater healing, and potions of superior healing.
Propane and propane accessories.
What about potions of breathing underwater?
And
You got that Minecraft fire potion?
Chad potion.
You got that chug jug?
What about potions of being really hot for like 30 minutes?
Hey man, Eagle Splendid.
That's called alcohol.
No, you hear the paladin whisper something like, "Oh, maybe it's a test." Of course we have potions of many kinds, my lord. What is it that you seek?
Hello, Mike. Oh, okay, awesome.
Hello.
Well, I just wanted to browse through the potions. I didn't really have anything specific in mind, but how much for the greater potions of healing?
All right, so the paladin kind of leans back, or he turns around and goes behind the desk, and he starts like lifting these crates, just one after another, and they stack on top of each other. They seem to have about 50 potions of healing regular.
Hold on. And how much does each one heal?
The potion of healing by itself is 2d4 plus 4.
Okay.
Let me go find a thing. I have to go figure out where the other ones are. Okay. There's greater healing, superior healing, and supreme healing. Okay. So which one were you asking for? Greater?
Greater.
Come on, DMG. Okay, that is unhelpful. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay, potion of greater healing is 4d4 plus 4.
Oh, poggers.
And they have about 20 of these.
I'll take them all.
And how much are they for each?
The standard cost is 400 gold.
400 gold. Okay. And
Each.
how much for the regular ones? 200?
50.
No, for the regular ones is a little closer to 75.
75.
Why is it so expensive in this world?
Well,
Are they harder to make?
it's about profit. So the standard healing potion goes anywhere between 50 and 100 gold. The greater healing is anywhere from 100 and 500, so on and so forth. Honestly, it's a pretty good deal. The greater is a little gouged, but they are harder to make because they cost higher level spells to make.
I'll just get a bunch of regular ones.
Okay, how many do you want?
Uh,
They have 50. Don't subtract the gold yet.
I'm not gonna buy them all. I'm 2 for me. 2 for.
Scratch was here. He could buy a lot of them.
Well, he definitely could. But would he?
Me, you. Are you watching?
No, I honestly, I think Scratch might just get the 5-finger discount.
So there's 5 people in the party at any given time, and I could get 2 for each member. So I'll get 20 of them.
20. Okay.
20.
I say there were 75 each. Okay. You get 10 of them for free.
Whoa. Was not expecting that.
The rest will be at cost.
All right, cool.
So that'd be 750 gold.
Oh, epic. Yeah, I pay it.
Okay. They thank you for your patronage, literally and otherwise.
So I smile. Thank you. And I head off to go browse some other places.
All right, and then Mr. Psychic. What are you doing in this time?
So,
I got nothing. I don't want to spend my money yet.
All right, very well.
In the blacksmiths here or whatever, upgrade my shield for better.
Oh,
AC,
that is a good question. Maybe I could get a
better
nice
shield
weapon.
and armor.
Magic armor here is possible, but it's expensive. It starts in about the 3,000 range for a +1.
Oh, okay.
How much damage does the Staff of the Python do if I just bonk someone with it?
It is
Applies
treated
to
as a
the
magic
shields
quarterstaff.
as well?
What was the question, Weeb?
And that applies to the shields as well?
That would only be the shield.
That would only be the shield. Okay.
Yes. The weapons are of different costs than armor.
Are there any interesting items for sale that I may peruse?
Depends on your definition.
I'm looking for stuff that a swamp witch would like.
Well, there are kits such as the herbalist kit and the alchemist kit, which if you find or get.
Oh yeah, I was
with,
gonna get the healer's kit.
There's also some of those.
How much does that cost?
The kits are 50 gold each.
Okay, I would like to get the healer's kit for 50 gold.
Yes, that is fine.
How do I add that?
Well, if you look in the compendium, you can type in healer. And then there's an item called the healer's kit. You can drag and drop it into your inventory. Otherwise, are you guys ready to leave?
Yep.
Okay. When the carriage gets ready to move, Whim, you realize that the symbol you saw was Weebs.
I should have asked. I was thinking of just asking out loud, but I felt it was more appropriate to just roll on it.
Okay, the way downriver to El Terrell is not a difficult one. Along the way, does anybody do anything in particular?
Wouldn't think so.
I just to reconfirm, my hold on. Yeah, okay, my cannon's still set to be a flamethrower. My infuses are bag of holding and alchemy jug. Alchemy jug is oil. Tool for the job.
Well,
blah.
remember that every day is about a long rest, so you can reset these things.
Well, yeah, I'm just confirming that now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to change it.
I see.
Okay, yeah, I think that covers everything.
Anything else from you guys?
Other than distributing potions to party members, not really.
Alrighty.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do with my egg. I
I have
just
a
kind of have
question.
it go pretty egg.
I have answers.
What is the use of a magic wand?
It depends on the magic wand.
Okay, cool.
Wands typically are like scrolls in which they usually have spells inscribed in them. Now, there are wands that you can just kind of get, which are just magical focuses. Though, of course, most of you don't have need for those things. But there are things like the Wand of Magic Missiles, the Wand of Fireballs, yada yada.
So you don't use like a magic wand as a weapon for like a ranged attack or whatever.
No.
That's not a thing.
I mean, again, the Wand of Magic Missiles, because technically counts.
Kagerou.
But no, there's not like an empowered auto attack.
Did you guys add the 2 potions to your inventories?
I will do that now.
You each got 2.
Okay, so when you arrive in El Terrell, there are some things that I need to talk to you about. Okay.
How many? 2?
2.
2.
Just regular healing potion?
No,
Regular.
potion of greater healing, right?
It is a normal healing potion.
Oh, normal. Never mind.
Alright. What does that heal for?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Okay.
Alright. Sorry. I had to read something. So, El Terrell is not as large of a city as Scornabil, but it is a proper city. Most notable about it is that there is a brilliant magical light that hovers right above it, which illuminates through the day and night. This is a holy light that is decidedly that it decidedly ensures that no undead could get in.
Does it impact stealth at all?
No. Because shadows are still cast around the city. It's just there is a magical sun that just sits on top of the city. It's basically just a blanket of holy light.
Okay.
If you guys look on the map, you'll see that up here are the fields of the dead, in which undead pretty typically just show up.
Fields of the dead.
So, now that you have arrived in the city, what would you like to do?
Well, I did everything I wanted to do back in Scornable.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean,
it's pretty
it's
obvious
going to be
who
the
my
same
people
situation here, I think, for me.
Well, there is a very different church here. They are called the Order of the Gauntlet.
Are they gaunt?
Well, their leader is a dwarf, which happens to be one of the guys you're looking for.
Oh.
Useful. Let's go say hi to him.
The cleric that Larson was talking about?
Yes. His name is Anthar Froom.
I guess we'll go have a chat with him then.
Well, asking around for him, you will be told that his headquarters is at a tavern called A Pair of Black Antlers.
So we head there post haste. I get the sense that something important is about to happen.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, Froome will not be available as he has clerical duties during the day. Well, quote unquote day. But later in the evening, he would be more than happy to meet you, as Leosin has told him much and more about your deeds. A Harper scout, not Leosin himself, but another scout, would let you know that impressing Onthar is a big deal. He is a dwarf, and he, unlike many clerics of his order, are not very stiff. Imagine you're pretty standard boisterous dwarf, and you got a generally bright idea. Froome is especially big on characters with good prowess, honesty, and drive in long-term interests. So anything you can do to sort of butter him up in those ways are suggested, but not necessary.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have Weeb do all the talking then.
Oh, okay.
I could potentially have chimed in on stuff like that, long-term
But
interest, like
that-
as a tinkerer, but not in my current state.
Not in your current state. I am brutally honest, but
Yeah.
most people don't believe me.
I am a weird old woman. Very, very strange.
I
And
have very
scratch,
great
scratch.
battle prowess. I'm probably the
just
strongest
have-
person in the party right now.
Shiny armor that's white and blue with my symbol on my shield.
Sure. There are a few people who are impressed, and in fact, upon seeing that you have your holy symbol basically everywhere, several of the kind of lower ranked clerics will offer to do contests with you. Drinking contests, arm wrestling, sometimes a friendly spar, yada yada.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll arm wrestle a few of them. Pretty strong.
Wow. Hold on. Have I been memed on really hard? No, I haven't. Okay. That's bizarre. Okay. Go ahead and make me some strength checks.
Click on my strength, right?
Yes. The word strength.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, you pretty handedly beat a few of them. As several larger guys. There's like a half orc who walks up, and I'll need another one from you.
Okay.
He slams you down hard. You feel like if he would have been any rougher, you might have broken your arm.
Ah, damn.
And he says, you put up a good
Pick 'em.
fight. You can keep trying this way or try out some other contests, which there are other contests for things like magic and other things. Scratch in particular has taken to an archery contest.
Huh.
Basically, anybody else can join in.
I'm gonna go. I'm assuming it's kind of like a big, place where like it's sort of sectioned off, sort of loosely, where there's magic going on there, and there's physical stuff there.
Not really, actually.
Not really?
It's the bottom floor of a tavern that has been kind of cleared out, and there's just cliques of people, all who wear the Order of the Gauntlets kind of. I don't want to say repertoire because that's the wrong. They have all of the insignias.
Right.
Basically, they're just here to have a good time, and there's drinks all around, all that good stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of look around and see if I can spot where any of the sort of magic, tomfoolery and tests of strength and stuff like that are.
Yeah, you see a number of mages kind of sitting around. They have bottles of booze kind of lined up where you would think it would be an archery competition, but the goal is to freeze it without breaking it.
Freeze it without breaking it.
Yeah.
I have a question about Ray of Frost.
What's up?
So it's generally described more of like a lance almost of cold.
Yeah, it's a ray.
The question is, if I were to just barely miss something, does it project enough of a cold aura to freeze things in the very, very close vicinity?
It does not.
It does not. Okay.
But with an Arcana roll, you can basically like adjust it to do less damage than normal. And you would figure that would be a good way to do this.
Okay. How many mages are kind of at that little table ish thing, or in that area?
Oh, okay. There's 2 of them.
2?
Yep.
How much does it cost for a nice pint of the house's best beer?
4 silver.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go walk. How much do I? Okay. I'm gonna go walk up to them.
They look at you, and then like some of them start to draw their weapons, and then they stop, and they're like, "Hey there, how's it going?"
How do I want to phrase this?
Carefully, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Very. This is the one time where you being super ultra mega poggers cautious actually comes in handy.
There are a few times that comes in handy, but we'll worry about that later.
I'm gonna sort of greet them and say, I noticed that you were doing a little. I don't want to call it a game. That sounds condescending.
I mean, that's basically what it is. It's a tavern game.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a
okay. I noticed you're playing a little magical game, and I was wondering if I might try my hand at it. And then I'll sort of like sort of visibly communicate that I kind of take note of their distaste, the caution, and I'll sort of how we're within earshot of, if I were to like shout out to like a barkeep or something for drinks.
The tavern is
right?
not that large. Yeah, I mean, people can feasibly hear you.
I'm gonna kind of like look over at like the nearest, bar wench or the tavern keep or whatever, and kind of call out and say, hey, can I get 2 of your best ales for these gentlemen over here? They are both guys, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they kind of like start nodding at each other like, oh yeah, come on.
Yeah. And so I'll sort of wave my hand and say the situation is complicated, but believe me that my situation is not in my. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we get the beer.
Yeah, all right. So you no longer have disadvantage, at least not with these guys.
Not with these guys. All right, I'm gonna just as part, I'm gonna have them I'm gonna inquire for them to explain the game to me.
I mean, yeah, they basically explain that they have these 3 bottles, and you can freeze them in any way that you desire, but if you break it, you buy it.
Okay. All right. Also, I'm gonna take 8 silver out of my thing for those 2 beers.
Thank you. Otherwise, we'll have a lot of problems.
And it's 10 to 10 to 10, right?
Yes. Except for Electrum, but everybody hates Electrum.
All right. So I'm gonna try my hand at it. So I'll fire at the leftmost bottle with Ray of Frost, and then I can do an Arcana roll to try and make it do minimum damage.
Yep.
Okay. Which should I do first?
So first, roll to hit. with the Ray of Frost. You don't need to roll damage. So that's good enough to hit it.
Okay. All right, and I'll roll Arcana.
Yep.
Under skills. All right.
Yeah, and you successfully freeze the first bottle.
Nice.
And they kind of look at you and they're like, oh yeah, all right. Well, then you see another guy go, and he kind of whips up a different spell, which is a cantrip Prestidigitation, and he kind of surges.
Can I roll Arcana on that?
But you don't need to. That's why I told you what the spell was.
Oh, okay.
It's the cantrip Prestidigitation. And he uses 2 of the 3 charges to lower its temperature. And though it takes a lot longer than yours did, it's definitely a more reliable way of doing it. And you can see another guy, he keeps time and he nods. He's like, oh, you know, that was pretty respectable. And then he passes the timer over to the second guy. And then he tries to do the same thing you did, but he shatters the bottle. It was an impressive use of the spell, to be sure. He didn't really tone it down. He goes, I lost, and you know.
I give him a hearty clap and say, hey, don't worry about it. You know, like the big camaraderie going on there.
All right, Psychic, are you doing a competition?
I'm not the competitive type.
All right.
The competition of unlimited power.
There are
He's
a
gonna
fair few.
enter a beauty contest.
There
with
are
the
a fair few older folk playing cards, and they appear to be doing a divination ritual.
I would like to join that.
All right. It is somewhat of a competition.
That's fine.
Basically, what they're doing is they're playing spiritual bingo. Is the best way I can describe it.
That is hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I need to do this immediately.
It would have been better if.
What's that, Ethel? B2.
The way that it works is that they have what's essentially a Ouija board, and you would roll Arcana, as well as some kind of either spell or another justifiable skill, or in your case, an item perhaps, and you try to out-attune the other old people.
Great. That's not spiritual bingo at all.
Well, that's what it looks like.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and hold on. Let me roll Arcana real quick.
I guess it's more like spiritual mini golf.
Yeah, whatever you need to tell yourself.
Oh my goodness. Listen, it's a
I'm
game
gonna
for
go
old
ahead.
people.
I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, do I have detect thoughts right now? Oh, I do. Okay, I'm gonna do that. If I'm understanding it correctly, I name a spell.
For detect thoughts?
No, like I do the Arcana check. I'm
Oh,
confused.
yes. No. Sorry, you were right. In regards to the game itself, yes. You would tell me a spell, ability, or item that might help you in this case.
Probably detect thoughts.
Okay. So I'll say that that's more than acceptable. You can expend the spell slot, and it gives you advantage as well as a handful of other bonuses. So I'll roll for the other old ladies. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. You find yourself tied, actually. One of the other folks across the table from you, he's kind of one of those older guys that he doesn't really open his eyes. He's sort of hunched over, and he's got a wooden staff that zigzags left and right. And he kind of looks at you and he says, "Your power is something I've never seen in my 200 years of adventuring."
How
Well, the
old
seat is
should I
lying.
pretend to be? Should I pretend to be older than him?
That's a pretty good choice.
I think I am older than him, but I don't act as old as that. Yeah, I'm about the same age. I think I have to fuck this guy.
Wait. Hold on.
Well, thank you. I was always taught that a proper lady accepts compliments when they're given to her.
Oh, back in my day, I'm so glad you get it. Kids these days don't understand when a spell's being thrown at them or when a sword's about to chop their nutters off.
Yeah. How can I buy you a drink, my friend?
Oh, the only drink I know these days are a good old glass of honey.
Do I have any?
No.
Great. Guess I'm not gonna get laid tonight.
Wait a minute. Oh, don't even tell me. Hold on a second.
What are you doing?
I really hope I'm fucking wrong. God damn it. I could have attuned Alchemy Jug to honey, but I had no reason to do it. Could you imagine if I had done that?
Give me honey.
Give me honey. All right. Oh well. So all of you passed more or less your trials.
Excellent. Good to hear.
All right.
That's
so
what I'm talking about.
later in the evening, I suppose I'll change the music. We'll do this one. All right. Later in the evening, a pair of squires kind of summon all of you specifically, and kind of lead you into a back door off of the tavern's common room. Private space off the tavern's common room. Okay. Waiting for you in the room are a broad-shouldered dwarf paladin, the monk Leosin, and many, many pitchers of dark red wine. The paladin's face wears a serious expression, unlike his usual open countenance. My friends, we have important business to discuss. At this point, you know about as much as we do. And thanks to you, we know twice as much today as we did 10 days ago. Something rotten is afoot. We have no formal organization to oppose the rascals who call themselves the Cult of the Dragon. At least, not yet anyway. We're working on that. And to make it work, we need people like you. And he looks specifically towards Weep when he says this. You who know how and when to fight, how and when to keep their heads down and observe. We can't promise you anything except long days filled with danger and stress. But, and kind of a wider grin takes his face, what could be better than that, huh?
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Mr. Psych?
I was just expressing like general excitement for the plan.
I see. It's good to see some of the more refined folk have decided to join us. What a shame about you, though. And he kind of scoffs, sort of, in Wim's direction.
Yeah.
Yes, that boy's a complete idiot.
Yeah, I just shrug and say, yeah, you know, stuff happens.
I don't think idiocy is quite the right term. The call to adventure is one that warms even the most scarred of hearts. I cannot blame one for having to indulge into the thrill of unknown and magical items. My own church is capable of dealing with such a mess as that, but it would be far faster and far less cruel to just destroy it.
Hit it with a hammer.
I'm getting so many DM hints that you get rid of the mask.
No, it's not hints.
He doesn't want to.
It's exactly what I told you would happen.
I sort of look back at him and give him another shrug and just be like, you know, well, what sort of adventure would I be if I didn't make use of everything available to me?
I'm gonna step away from my PC for just a second.
Unforgivable. No, okay. So he kind of.
And what? Wait. And I'm gonna add in and and hey, what's life without a little risk?
He kind of like chuckles in the. You got me, but I'm gonna punch you in the throat if you. You know, it's kind of like, yeah. Well. While I don't agree with the have every use for every object, as some things are better laid to rest. Indeed, your circumstances are those even I cannot bring myself to judge. That said, I do offer my sympathies to you, and highly advise that you stop by the church and see about it getting it removed from you.
He's never gonna do it. He's never. And I slap my knee, and I just laugh and laugh because this idiot thinks that Wimu Aton is ever gonna get rid of his silly little headpiece.
If you'd be willing to let us at the Church of the Gauntlet hold on to it, or sorry, the Church of Torm hold on to it, I'd even be willing to compensate you.
So do I recognize this church or religion?
Religion.
Is it old or not?
It's not. You do know it though. I have to go freaking look it up. Because there is. All right. Torm, the god, is known as the Loyal Fury. He is a god whose portfolio generally consists of duty, loyalty, and righteousness.
Wow.
After the spell plague happened, he also took the domain of law. The symbol is a gauntlet of a right hand held upright with its palm forward.
Oh, that's poggers.
Let's see. Their general things are you actually share your domain of war with Torm. He governs the domains of war, light, life, and justice. Yes. So you definitely understand this guy.
Yes.
And he's kind of like, if you would think about your church as like a family, this would be like your cousin.
Okay.
You are related in sort of a divine manner, as your beliefs and this guy's beliefs are very, very similar. And you get the feeling that Onthar kind of recognizes that in sort of a way that he doesn't know you're a god, but he generally understands what you're about is what he's about.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want you to roll, because there's no way that you don't know it.
Are you friends with Torm?
Friends is a little bit of a curious thing. Domains are sort of like plots of land, and
neighbors.
Every god wants a piece of that land because that gives them power, right? So generally, the more land that someone else has, the less that you would. So there's a bit of like a, hey, you ever thought about giving up your power and serving under me? Haha, I didn't think so, but the offer's open. Like a lot of that happens. That's basically the only thing that happens in the Divine Realms.
That's it?
That sounds tragically boring.
Well, it's a lot of lordly duties and people feeling very self-important. That's about it.
Well, of course.
They play like spiritual mini golf, kinda, and that's...
So it's basically like a Starbucks in New England.
Yeah, kinda.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just wondering, like, I see that you're ahead of me in line, and my Michaeli just can't start her day without a caramel macchiato. So, like, if you could just, like, give up your place for me, that would be so useful. Just, like, Karen's.
Yeah,
it's Karen's up in heaven. Nothing but Karen's.
Because the domains themselves are not aligned, but the deities are. And so even evil deities will be like, hey, can I just like have this spot in your domain? Just a little bit, we don't have to meet each other. I just want a little bit of this power and we'll be good. It's it's like political gerrymandering only with religion. Because your power is directly influenced by how much your followers believe in you. So the more domains you can cover, the better. But that means that your tenants have to get a little wishy-washy, which can offend a lot of people, especially other gods who have been more established in that domain when you just suddenly start taking their land.
I was pretty much strictly war.
Right,
Almost.
which means that you're more of a local favorite. You do have a significant slice of the war domain, not all of it, because that would be impossible, and you'd have to fight a lot of people to do so. But you are more of a local deity, whereas Torm is kind of part of the greater pantheon, or technically the lesser pantheon. But he is more internationally known. He is bigger than you. And his slice of the war cake is also larger than yours, but, you know, every little bit helps. But nevertheless, you are a welcome face. Where was I?
So what's Torm like? Do you ever meet him?
Well, before we get to that, women, you have been offered to be compensated for getting the mask removed. What say you?
No, I'm not ditching this mask. I'm keeping this mask. We'll do some unattunement curse remove shenanigans. You know, once Weeb has that, and then eventually greater restoration. You know, we'll make it an actual proper usable item.
So what's your in-character explanation?
By the way,
honestly, I think I'll just be straight up. I'll play the fact that he likes honesty, and I'll just say, look, here's the plan. I know that I can't unattune this thing without remove curse, which will become much more readily available to me in the near future. You know, which will allow me to kind of take this off, you know, outside of its useful applications, and then put it back on as needed. And then, you know, down the road, greater restoration, it'll cease to become a hindrance, and it will become nothing but a blessing of
he kind of grimaces at you. I mean, you can tell that he appreciates the fact that you didn't try and, like, you know, take the beat around the bush of, well, I don't know. But obviously what you just said kind of has some pretty dark implications. And he turns to Weeb and he says...
Weeb, I was about to say King, like, he understands that you want to keep for a bit longer and wait for him to get removed curse, but he kind of cringes too, like he...
So Anthar will look over to King Weeb and say, young man, are you sure you approve of your party member using your power in such a way?
I kind of gotta give a long sigh. Well, he's kept me alive, that's for sure.
He'll sort of size up Wim once more and give more of an empathetic nod and say, I see. Well, I won't argue with results that I myself did not make. So, for now, I suppose I have no choice but to respect your decision. Though, notably, I dislike it. If ever you feel the call to power to be too much, you will always have a place in the Church of Torm.
I'll follow up and I'll say, rest assured, you know, at my heart, I am little more than a magical craftsman. You know, power is never my end goal.
Liar.
Roll persuasion, and you're not at disadvantage.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah. Unless you're lying to the guy, in which case roll deception.
No, it's such a nothing. But I am getting nat 20s.
What an incredible roll. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? So he looks at you, he nods, and then he nods again, and then he kind of slams his fist on the table. He says, who am I to give such judgment upon you who have saved Greenus from hell and whatever else lies in such a horrific place. You who have dealt with dragons and the like. Why, I've been sitting here sipping wine, and yet I speak down to you. How disgraceful of me. Come, and be one with the light of justice.
Are you gonna have to fuck Torm?
Well, and
Is that what that means?
He offers you a glass of red wine.
I'll accept it gratefully, but I'm only gonna sip it a little bit.
It's good shit. It's just good. It's not poisoned. Well, I mean, technically alcohol is poison, but it's not like laced with anything, you know.
Right. I just I want to keep my wits about me.
It's not gonna get you intoxicated. It's literally just a glass of wine.
Also, I also
You've
keep
seen
in
what
mind,
it does to me.
There's a dichotomy here. So
yeah. Well, either way, Leosin will kind of clear his throat and speak up. He says, "Well, now that the formalities have been dealt with, there is a bit of an issue that we've found." Over in Baldur's Gate, and he kind of snaps his finger as he sort of sleight of hands a scroll out from his sleeve, and he lays it on the table, and he shows you the map where he points at Baldur's Gate, and he says, well, we've heard rumors that there's going to be a caravan heading from Waterdeep, which is what I meant to say instead of Baldur's Gate, heading from Waterdeep north through the Mirror of Dead Men. By the way, Mr. Psychic, the Mirror of Dead Men is kind of where your swamp is.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So if you are capable of getting a carriage from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep, and then either you can disguise yourself as cultists, as you have done before, and he specifically nods at you, Wim, and joining their caravan or stalking them from a distance, we have reason to believe that they are taking a massive amount of treasure up into Neverwinter, though we could not find anywhere in Neverwinter that is set to accept such a large sum of treasure. So there must be somewhere that they're dumping it, and we're not really sure where. So I highly advise that you make your way to Waterdeep as soon as you can. Baldur's Gate, of course, does have larger carriages and caravans that go through the coast way, if you wish to take that route, or you can go back into Scornabel through Sobar and make your way there yourself. Either way, the choice is yours. But I would prefer that you make a decision soon, as I would need to tell my agents to follow the way that you don't take.
Yeah, I mean that align personally for me. That aligns pretty well because Waterdeep is the most likely place to have a greater restoration caster. So I'm down with that, and like obviously I can use my cursed mask to get us in with the dragon cultists more easily.
You see Onthar kind of frown at once again the use of the mask, but he sort of shakes his head as he kind of gets why it's useful. And he says, well, if you're looking for greater restoration, I myself am capable of such, though I cannot do so for free.
Well, how much are we talking here?
If you are willing to make a donation to the church of about 10,000, I could do so. As it is, such a spell is pretty difficult for me to
right
ask Torm for, especially for, no offense, one such as you.
Understandable. Okay.
Knowing how it is kind of nods.
Yeah. So I got like 5K. I know.
I'll cut you a deal, wizard man. If you're able to intercept this treasure hoard that they're moving and are able to put a stop to it, I'll do it for free.
Okay. So we're gonna do that anyways.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Leosin
But there's two options though, because until such point, I'm still stuck with the cursed mask.
Right.
Quick question: if I were to remove the curse aspect of this thing, will the average dragon cultist like realize that, or is it like more just like detriment?
Just impossible to know.
Impossible to know. Okay.
The fact that Greater Restoration removes the curse in itself also carries other implications. For example, what remove the curse actually means isn't well defined. By which I mean it could just straight up destroy the mask, which does remove the curse, but how
is it? Go ahead.
I was going to say the specific benefit. It is possible to cast remove curse or greater restoration in such a way to keep it as just a boon, but you're basically the idea is that you're channeling the power of a god for them to kind of rewire the way it works. How willing they are to do so is dubious, and which god chooses to do so is also dubious. So even greater restoration only poses a chance. Rather, there is a guarantee that the mask will no longer possess you and will no longer be capable of possessing you, but what that means and how that's defined changes based on who does it for you. So, for example, since Torm is a god of war, he is more likely to just destroy it.
Yeah, just destroy it. Could I... I don't know if I need to roll on this or something, if I could just ask, but of the gods, who have devotees who can cast Greater Restoration, which one do you think would be most likely to achieve the result that I want, which is to largely leave the benefits intact, but remove essentially, if it's a matter of phrasing, I just want to remove any association with the dragon cult.
Okay.
But
well, there are a number of deities. Would you like to go by alignment or by domain?
Give me a quick rundown on the more common domains, because I all I know is war.
Okay. So domains can be anywhere from the elemental planes or greater concepts, such as darkness, death, deception, demonic, destruction, diabolic, dragon, dream, drow, dwarf, madness, magic, mentalism, metal, mind, mist, moon. It's as specific or general as you want it to be. There are also domains of races. So in your case, the dragon domain might be good or bad.
Well, I was gonna say, no, I would assume that if anything, they'd be like, yeah, no, buddy, we want you to keep that dragon cult.
Well, or they'd be willing to take the power of the mask and just give you, a cool costume. The Arcana domain might be helpful here.
Yeah, I was thinking something that's just more because you know how like you got like the red wizards and stuff who they're like any magic is good with us, right? I feel like that would be the most sympathetic to what I'm trying to do here, because it's got cool shit. It's got that breath, It's got extra moves.
Let me look through all of these.
Yeah, the Church of Joe Mama.
Oh my god, yo, I visit that one every night. It's crazy. Get Uno reverse carded.
So, I will say that off the top of your head, you can think of the domains Arcana, Corruption, Renewal, Temperance, and Tyranny.
On Arcana, Corruption, Renewal, Temperance,
and Tyranny.
And Tyranny.
Now, I'll kind of explain briefly, since I assume you have like a conversation about this. Since you're with two clearings.
Let's just ignore corruption and tyranny.
Well, let me explain how they would help you.
Oh, okay.
Both corruption and tyranny would remove the fact that the mask is latched onto you. Right? So basically you'd be able to take it off and put it on at will. It would still have the disbenefits when you put it on, but it's not cursed to you. And the reason they would do that is because they would put that aspect into another item, so they can get slaves and stuff. So
so they'll take it and they'll go use it for some item that they'll make.
Right. So it technically helps you, but in kind of a screwed up way. Arcana is more likely to try and just give the mask different properties, which, if very successful, would just make it a boon. If less than successful, might just change the benefits that it gives you altogether, in exchange for, not being latched onto your face. Renewal would try and possibly do one of two things. Either one, basically re-roll the stats on the mask to just try and get a version of it that doesn't suck for you, or do the same thing to you, which can be good or bad. Temperance, being all about self-restraint, would probably give a command word where you can take on and put off the mask, but there's probably some kind of like, the more you use it, the worse it is for you. In going with the whole self-restraint aspect.
Right.
So those are the big ones.
Yeah, so renewal and temperance not looking so good.
Oh, well, I mean, there's also luck, but, well, I'm sure you can imagine how that goes.
Yeah, no, I roll terribly, and I just become Tiamat's number 2 servant, and then everybody dies.
Luck can technically help you with anything. And it's more of a, it either happens or it doesn't. It's not like you could roll so poorly that it's worse for you. It would be like, if you rolled poorly, they'd probably just be like, sucks for you. And nothing would change. Of course, you just still have to pay them all the same, but...
Right.
Do the most whim thing you can think of.
So the most whim thing would probably be Arcana, because believe it or not, I am not evil aligned. So the knowledge that corruption, tyranny would just take this and then probably use it on somebody else wouldn't really sit well with me. Like I wouldn't discount it completely, but it's not my first choice. So probably going Arcana out of all these options, if I can. And if I can't, then corruption, tyranny is my second choice.
I see. Not at all into the renewal or temperance?
No, I feel like those have a lot that could not go well for me.
All right.
It's like that moment, that moment in DM where you say you want to do something and the DM is like, "Are you sure?" We all know that moment, don't we?
All right. Well...
So I guess because the current offer is, he it would be in this church,
right? Which is a war church,
which is just essentially about to get destroyed.
Yes. Most
so
likely to destroy it. That doesn't mean he has to.
Right, but I'm not gonna rely on like nat 20s here. Okay, like it's.
All
right. I would it be so he's offering to do it for free if we go do this thing.
Right.
Alternatively, I could have just paid him 10 grand. Do you think that? I think I'd ask and say, since there's a good chance that the mask would just be destroyed. Should I ask for the assistance of the war domain. Do you think that you could possibly, instead of just removing it for me, as a reward for the whole shipment business, do you think you could get me in touch with a church in the Arcana domain, and maybe put in a good word for me on like maybe a bit of a discount?
He kind of like grimaces a little bit, where he says, I only know of 2, well, I guess 3 if you want me to kill you, that rule over
just
the
the
domain
2
of Arcana. There is Mystra, the mother of magic, which...
Is that a Y or an I?
That's a Y. Which any of you can feasibly know that Mystra holds the Weave. And what the Weave is anytime you cast arcane magic, it basically rings like a harp inside the Weave. The spell plague happened because Mystra got banished and the Weave wasn't maintained.
Would I remember?
Do what?
Would I remember that?
Anybody knows this.
Oh,
Mystra is basically the deity of magic. Part of the greater pantheon. She is so powerful that she willed herself back into existence.
wow.
Yeah, when the spell plague happened because she got banished from everyone's memories. So nobody even knew that she existed. And then she was just so strong that she basically wished herself back into existence. Everybody remembered her, and then the spell plague kind of became less and less of a big deal. Her symbol is a ring of 7 stars surrounding a red rising mist.
Ring of 7 stars, red rising mist.
Put this. What is wrong? That's Mistra's image, or at least her insignia. He also tells you of Selune, or Selune, I guess. And she is known as the Moon Maiden, or she who guides.
Wait a minute, it's psychic.
Hola,
It's
psychic.
a psychic.
What's up?
Wasn't that the Dota goddess?
Salamene.
A Salamene. Oh, close.
Saloon is a very cheap and easy way to connect your thing with the moon, and I won't stand for it.
Selune has been around since 1st edition D&D. I'm pretty sure she predates a lot of this stuff.
It's cheap, boring, stupid.
Anyways,
we need a name for the goddess of the moon. How about we use Luna? No, that's too easy. Let's include the Sele part. Yes, Saloon. No, that's so creative.
You good?
Okay. Well, so anyway.
That's Wizards of the Coast.
Selune is also ruling over magic, as well as knowledge and life and twilight.
Hold on. Magic, knowledge, life, twilight.
Yeah. She is also occasionally known as Sahanin Moonbow, which is one of the most worshipped elven goddesses.
Okay.
And then lastly, there is Vecna, which might be a familiar name to some of you.
Can I roll to see if it's familiar to me?
Well, no. I meant you as players.
Not really.
Okay, Vecna is basically a super evil lich.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, got it.
Apparently, in like 1st edition D&D, Vecna was a player character who invented a pair of magic items that made them into a greater lich, and they became a lesser deity. And so every edition since there has been Vecna, and there are 2 items: the left eye of Vecna and the right hand of Vecna. It might be the other way around, but either way, super evil stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he is a human lich that goes for Arcana, Death, and Knowledge. He also wrote the Book of Vile Darkness. So, I mean, take it as you will. But perhaps unsurprisingly, Anthar mentions that getting a blessing from Vecna is basically to make yourself an enemy to all humanity.
Yeah, I would make it pretty clear that that's not on the table for me.
Right. And he nods and says, he's pleased to hear that, but he was obligated to let you know that such a thing exists.
Okay. So between Mr. and Salune, are either of them in Waterdeep?
Mistra is... It's hard to find a church of her because she doesn't need one. Anybody who casts magic basically worships Mistra in some way or another, which is why she's so unbelievably powerful. Theoretically, anyone who is like trained enough in religion and magic might be able to tell you more, but there are no dedicated temples to her. Salune, on the other hand, any major elf settlement has a temple to her.
Okay, so hold on, but so if there's no church, like specific church for, well, so hold on a second. Well, doesn't that mean that couldn't anybody who's skilled enough, regardless of their church, just have the Greater Restoration try and go through Mistra instead of their god or goddess?
They could, but why would they? Because again, when clerics and paladins and other divine casters, when they make their daily preparations, they pray to their deity to give them their spells. So in order to get one from Mistra, they would have to pray to a different deity, which might not make their current deity very happy.
Yes, I pray to myself on a daily basis.
It'd be like trying to take extra steps for reasons that don't really make a lot of sense. Now, if you made a very strong case to particular individuals, maybe they could be convinced. But generally speaking, they could do that. Most of them won't.
Right. Okay, well then, so at this point, it is the only real option because Mistra's not really actually on the table.
Well, that's not necessarily true. There are clerics of an Arcana domain. They are exceedingly rare, but you can find them. And they don't have
does he happen to know of any?
Anthar himself does not, but he knows that they exist. They are at least popular enough to exist, which means they're probably bigger than Weeb's Church, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, generally speaking, clerics of the Arcana domain don't have a specific deity, but asking them to channel something from Mistra is a lot easier. Also,
right.
Potentially, Divine Soul sorcerers can also do this.
Okay. Does he know of any elven settlements between here and Water? Or, well, the caravan we're going to be tracking is going from, you said, north from Waterdeep?
Yes.
Waterdeep on the map.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Do we know of any elf settlements that are sort of between here and Leyland?
He kind of frowns. It says there definitely used to be a long time ago, but they got wiped out in the War of 1363. Basically what happened is the Red Wizards got pretty crazy and went to war with a lot of elves, and their capital city got burned to the ground, in both the main physical plane and the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
A lot of elves, if they do have settlements, they are nowhere near the coast, and they usually go out of their way to stay hidden.
Okay, so it sounds like I find an Arcana. Really, my option is now back to probably finding an Arcana cleric.
What I was trying to get across is
in like
they
Waterdeep.
are equally difficult to get a hold of. Obviously, I'm not going to hand you something on a silver platter and be like, "Oh yeah, you can just solve your quest right here."
Oh yeah.
You
Right.
will have to put in considerable effort to go either route.
Hey, what do you know? An Arcana cleric just walks right in.
Well, maybe, but
Oh,
they also
No,
have to
I
like
think-
you.
I think, well, because keep in mind, I actually do have, I feel like, it's kind of forgotten. I do have connections, not necessarily in the divine or the divine spheres, but like, I have connections via the Tinker's Guild. So if I can get to a major city, I can certainly try and make use of that information network to see if we can find somebody in like Waterdeep or something like that.
Absolutely.
So I think what I'm gonna do is, for now at least, I'm gonna obviously communicate my intentions here. That I think that what I'll try to do is find a cleric of the Arcana domain. Probably have a better chance of doing that in a bigger city like Waterdeep. It's more likely that somebody is there, and I'll likely try and use my Tinker's Guild connections to try and track them down. In the meantime, I might ask him to do a remove curse now. I mean, obviously I'll pay him, but like a remove curse now just to get it off me, so I have the option of being without it for now.
He will cast remove curse for free because it's a second
Okay.
level spell. It's not, or a third level spell. It's not really that big of a deal.
Okay.
And obviously he wants to make just as good of an impression on you as you tried for him. And so he'll cast it, and you'll be able to actually, it kind of just falls off of your face. And you no longer have any of the benefits. But of course, you
Right.
don't have any of the disbenefits. Congratulations.
Okay, Black Dragon Mask unattuned. Cool. All right.
Is there anything else that people want to get across in this conversation?
Well, I'm having thoughts because I've been left alone in this entire conversation,
I know.
and I've
I'm
been
so
thinking
sorry.
that when no, it's just it's for in character reasons. I wasn't really nobody was talking to me. And I was thinking I want to be able to talk to my baby dragon in Draconic. So I want to go about learning Draconic. What's my process here?
Well, like any skill, it would generally take 140 days, which might sound like a long time, but also the carriage ride from here to Waterdeep is also a very long time. You can get more than half of it done on the travel alone.
Right. How do I get started?
Well, basically you just tell me that you're spending 8 hours every day to do so. And that's all you really need to do. You would only need to just keep track of the days.
Okay. Where do I keep track of those days?
Well, you
Other
can
resource?
do so on your character sheet. I'll basically just trust you to do so. You can do so like somewhere on the bio tab of your character sheet. You can hold a notepad. Either one's good.
Okay.
Just be sure to remind me, like, how many days has it been since X or Y happened. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
I guess. A million billion days passed. You're dead. Congratulations.
I mean, yeah.
Except I'm not.
Something else from any of you?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Well, you guys
Are clerics celibate?
Not necessarily.
So I could
really depends, actually.
Wait, what was the
What's
question?
the best way for me to flirt with the guy who we were bonding about how awful the youth of today are? I really think there could be something. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not
Let's
going
move
to
on.
manage this. I'm not going to do this. Alright, you guys are housed up for the night, and once again, Leosin will ask you if you're going the Baldur's Gate route or the Scornville route.
Oh.
The Baldur's Gate route is technically faster, but not really by a huge margin. It's also quite a bit more dangerous.
Oh, well, if it's more dangerous, I don't want that.
But experience.
Yeah, but we don't level up with experience.
Well,
We
you
level
level up
up.
with milestones, and milestones do count for, you know, how hard you tried.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Okay. What kind of dangers come from each different way?
Well, going the Scornville route, there are far more bandits and the like, because it's a very common trade route. Going the Baldur's Gate route, you go straight through the fields of the dead. There's undead.
How much more difficult? Say you took one undead soldier or something, and then like one bandit.
Well, undead have the undead fortitude sometimes, which means that when you kill them, sometimes they're not quite dead, which makes them considerably more difficult to deal with. But the bandit deals more damage, if that makes sense. Also, bandits have intelligence, which can be a danger in and of itself.
I would also imagine that if they're undead, you know, zombies, they probably have less dexterity.
Right.
And the like.
Zombies are just easier to deal with. There's typically lots of them, and sometimes taking them down is hard. Bandits are less in number, but generally more dangerous, and again, they can make use of tactics. Whereas zombies just can't. They'll just attack the first thing in front of them. Now, a zombie with speed and intelligence is horrifying.
Yeah, if it is more likely to give us an extra level, I'm fine to go the coastway.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to tell you which one's going to give you more of a level. I mean,
well, yeah, no, I'm just saying that generally.
Theoretically, you could be taking the safe route, and then you guys have some hella cool roleplay, and I decide to give you a level from that too. But
God damn it. All right, what do you guys think?
Can't try some speed. Let's take the faster way.
So that's
I mean, as
vote
long
for
as I get
Baldur's
to
Gate.
knock.
I just have to put. You have to give your answer in character. You can't just.
As long as I get to knock some heads, I don't really care.
All right, sounds like Baldur's Gate. Then
Baldur's
that's 3.
Gate is the way to go. All right, fantastic. Let me go ahead and open up this document.
I think we should not skip anything at this point because we don't have all of our party members.
Right.
So it would be better.
Basically, what's going to happen? 3 days are going to pass as you head to Baldur's Gate. And we will end the session there.
Nice.
A little earlier than normal, but I really don't want to do the next part without Miu because it could be pretty important.
See.
Alrighty. Let's head back to the main room. What did we think about today, friendos? Oops.
I think we quibbled about errata, but it was still fun.
Oh.
I mean, I liked all those competitions.
Yeah,
I'm
got
gonna
to show
consider
off.
it canon.
Yeah. I
That
got to show off, and then I rolled in that 20, which is always a good time.
All right. Well,
I consider it canon that the crone boinked with the other old half elf, I presume.
I hate this. this.
I got to show.
Just
off
visualize
that
it in
I'm
your mind.
strong.
No. We are not going to be doing anything of the sort. Right, well, more specifically, I will double check to see how we're doing here. Life on the road.
Oh, what do you know? Some bandits show up. Oh, we
Oh
beat
my
them
goodness,
up.
bandits! Bandits!
Oh my god, bandits
Oh no,
jumped us
we
between
smacked
the
him so
pyramids.
hard. We're level 9 now. That's crazy.
Ah, damn. Oh, what? We're
What?
suddenly level 20.
Holy shit, yo, we're making good progress. We'll be level
I'm
50 in
level-
no time.
Too bad
leveled
Scratch
up
is
too.
still level 3.
Rest in pieces. You know.
Hold on. I need to see anything. Trying to find where the next intended level is, just in case.
King definitely thinks that some of the information they sold was on him.
Don't worry about it.
So I'm not really too happy about that.
Don't worry
But
about
I
it.
mean money.
Alright, so right now you are 4th level, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So I will assume... let's go through this and this. This. Okay, this does not help. So I will assume... Alright, sweet. No level today, but depending on what you guys do, quite possibly next week.
Okay.
So be thinking about what you're gonna do for level 5.
I have like my entire thing planned out, like up to level like 20, I think, in a text document somewhere. I'm good.
Well, be aware that some things can happen in roleplay which might cause you to change.
Of course.
All
But I have a
right.
reference.
Alright.
Roleplay's pretty poggers.
Pretty poggers.
No, who cares about roleplay? I just want to hit the stat blocks. I want to smack him.
Smash him. Alright,
Kidding.
well, that ends today's D&D session. I want to thank you all for coming out today. I'm not entirely sure what it is I'm going to be doing tomorrow, but PizzaCast will be happening on this channel for real this time.
Pizza.
On April Fool's Day. So,
Wow. What are
whatever
you gonna prank them? What are you gonna do to prank them?
I got...
You can tell us.
No.
We won't spill.
No. I can't. It's really funny though. I think it's hilarious.
You're just gonna rickroll them, aren't you?
Nah, that'd be crazy. So, putting that aside, I think that's all the announcements for me this week. And that just about does it. Is anything crazy happening for any of you guys?
First ever Smash Bros. Stream.
Yeah, we're gonna be.
Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna be so
extremely
rusty.
bonkers.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We haven't
okay,
played in over a year, right? 2 years.
Yeah. No. I don't have access to the game to play.
Well, anytime you want to play it, it's literally right in my room. We're
I
right,
don't-
like, we gotta...
I just don't. You know.
I still have family and friends that want to hang out for my 21st. My 21st was on the 9th.
Wow. You should hang out with them.
Yes, I will.
Good.
but it also fucks with my stream schedule. I didn't stream at all last week because of it.
Well,
Poggers.
sounds pretty good then. Wimbu, what time can we expect this Smash stream?
What's
7
that
p.m.
7? 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get my first ever Just Chatting stream too on Saturday with my brand new room background.
Hey, let's go.
Very exciting.
I won't be able to join in because I'll be working, but I bid you good luck.
Yeah.
No, I know how bad you are at Just Chatting.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't done one yet for that reason. That exact reason. Okay, it was 50% because I'm bad at it, and 50% because I didn't have a room background, and I felt like I needed one.
I see. My room is
I
very
always-
cozy.
I only do Dishonored streams and stuff like that, and my friend was like, "You gotta chat with your audience in the beginning," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'd be only chatting with one person."
Come on, there's more than that. They just don't show up on Streamlabs because they have it tabbed. There's always more people. You should chat with them anyway.
Oh, I do chat with them.
Good, excellent. Let the conversation flow through you. Otherwise, that's about all I had. So I think we can move right into the end of this as we say, "Oh, it's Kagerou."
It's Kagerou!
What's Kagerou?
Hey, we did it.
All right, the rocks fall on you,
Yeah.
dealing 50 billion D100 damage.
50 billion D100. I'd okay about that one, Chief.
But that's so fair and reasonable.
It is fair and reasonable. It's
You know,
chat.
in another game, our GM allowed 10th level spells to a certain character. One of them is called like Mountain Maker, and you literally just throw like a mountain at somebody. It doesn't deal damage because it's literally rocks fall and they die. The spell. It doesn't deal damage. It just kills target characters.
Literally rocks
Reminds
fall.
me of that
Yeah.
one meme about like the level 3 party that pissed off a DM, and the DM was like, level 11 spells exist. Oh, what do you know? X damage happened, huh? Because they were
Oh,
being
man.
murder hobos.
I'll never do that to you guys. I'll just let you wallow in your own consequences. Which is
That one.
arguably worse, but
I don't know. I think I'm doing okay.
you're doing pretty good. Now that I've taken your extra turn away, or your extra action.
For now.
For now.
For now.
I'll take my victory. Oh shit, we're still streaming.